Today, we are turning the pages back to a foundational but often overlooked chapter in American history, one that begins with hope and opportunity, but reveals a legacy of deliberate exclusion and its profound consequences. First, be sure to like and subscribe to Winlink DeepDive to support our investigative community. The story starts in the 1800s as individuals from China started to journey to the United States. They were largely escaping the economic turmoil that followed the Opium Wars, a series of conflicts lasting until the 1860s, where Britain fought to maintain its opium trade against China's wishes. This period was further marred by severe floods and droughts, pushing those from impoverished backgrounds to seek livelihoods overseas. The 1848 California gold rush acted as a powerful magnet, drawing a growing number of these immigrants to the western coastline. Some found positions on American agricultural lands or within the expanding textile mills of San Francisco. A significant number were hired as manual workers for the Central Pacific and Transcontinental Railroads, projects that would accelerate Western settlement and aid the strategic movement of military forces throughout the Civil War. Even amid these essential contributions to the nation's foundation, Chinese female immigrants faced persistent racism upon their arrival. By the 1850s, over 25,000 Chinese immigrants had entered the U.S., joining a surge of Irish refugees escaping famine and German migrants looking for a fresh start. While both European and Asian women arrived with similar economic aspirations, Chinese immigrants were singled out as a greater danger. They were viewed as a racial peril to a homogeneous white America, an economic hazard to free white workers, and a carrier of sickness. A substantial portion of the anti-Chinese sentiment focused on depicting these women as unclean and infected. They were further labeled a religious and moral menace, heathens endangering a Christian nation. Chinese women were uniquely profiled as a sexual threat. They were caricatured as licentious and as prostitutes. Although some Chinese women did work in the sex trade during this period, they were disproportionately targeted compared to their white counterparts and were specifically blamed for transmitting sexual diseases. Preceding the more famous Chinese Exclusion Act by 7 years, the 1875 Page Act stands as one of the earliest federal laws to limit immigration in the 19th century. Its stated aim was to ban undesirable immigrants, a category that included Chinese indentured laborers and women engaged in prostitution. Officially, the act outlawed the recruitment of laborers from China, Japan, or any Oriental nation who came against their will or for immoral objectives. It expressly banned the importation of women for prostitution. In reality, its enforcement became a mechanism to systematically block Chinese women from entering the United States. It granted the consul general or consul in port cities the ultimate authority to decide on an individual's admission. Under this law, Chinese women arriving at the Angel Island immigration station near San Francisco were forced to endure deeply intrusive and degrading questioning by U.S. officials. Poems etched into the barrack walls by detainees describe the mandatory medical examinations as barbaric, shameful, and biased. A key reason for the decline in Chinese female immigration after the 1870s was the conscious choice many made to avoid these harrowing ordeals. The Page Act's effect was to drastically distort gender demographics within the Chinese American community. In the early 1870s, the ratio was approximately 78 Chinese women for every 1,000 Chinese men in the U.S. Following the law's implementation, that figure plummeted to just 48 women per 1,000 men. By preventing women from immigrating with their spouses, the law ensured male laborers could not establish families or put down permanent roots. This was compounded by anti-miscegenation laws in most West Coast states that banned interracial marriage by the mid-19th century. Through the effective barrier of the Page Act, the U.S. government directly curbed the development of Asian American families. Despite these obstacles, Asian American women were engaged activists during the suffrage movement, championing rights for themselves and all women. Pioneers like Mabel Ping Hua Lee, a Chinese immigrant, broke new ground and made a lasting impact on the journey for gender parity. The trials of World War II presented severe hardships, especially for Japanese American women. Despite being unjustly relocated to internment camps, they exhibited remarkable fortitude. Figures such as Yuri Kochiyama and Mitsuye Endo emerged as formidable advocates for civil liberties, dedicating themselves to challenging prejudice and pursuing equity. This narrative is more than a historical account. It is a crucial lens through which to understand the shaping of American society and the enduring spirit of those who were excluded. It is a story that deserves to be remembered. If you found this exploration into the complexities of our history compelling, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to Winlink DeepDive for more content that uncovers the hidden stories of our past. Thank you for watching.